though it's H122, it's still H119. He keeps saying H119, H119. He been saying no matter whether I say H122 or H120, he say it don't matter. You still got to go back to H119. When I
Yes.
know that Strongs are placed where they are for a reason. If that wasn't the case, then it would just be H19 everywhere. It wouldn't be no H120, and it wouldn't be no H120 or H122. It would just be H119 everywhere. But that's not the case. It's placed in reference with the context for a reason. And when you look up H122, it literally compares the man that word is referring to a heifer or a horse. So anytime you look up a red heifer or a red horse, you can Google it right now. It's gonna be brown, just like majority, about a good 80% of who's claiming to be Israel in anywhere right now. In these times right now, nobody pale is claiming to be Israel other than the people in that land. Even the Ashkenazi Jews that are in other European lands, they don't even claim to come from Israel. They claim to come from where they are, but they just claim to be the true children of Israel, so called. Nobody pale is claiming to be the true chosen children, especially the Jews of the Most High, which is who these
You're just
scriptures are
you're
referring to.
disconnected, dude. You're disconnected. You're monologuing now. You're disconnected. There's such a thing as British Israelitism, and the whole nation over there claim they're the descendants of the 12 tribes, just like y'all trying to do. They've been doing that forever. Okay, so you're disconnected there. Secondly, I posted in the back chat. You stopped short. It gives you the reference to H119, which you did not click on, which goes to the look of those people, which is to be rosy or flush. And I guarantee you, hit AI, it'll tell you. Rosy or flush is the look of Adam and his
We
descendants.
not going off of what you saying. We
No,
going with
you're
the
trying to say
Strong's
that. I
that's
know. We're
used
going with
in the
what it says
scriptures.
on the Stones right here.
The strong, the strong
H119.
is
It takes you to
H122.
H119. Yeah, H122, Adam, ADOM. Root word. Root word from H119. Okay, like I said in the back chat, I placed it right here. It takes you right down and gives you the reference root for word etymology, H119. The Strong's definition of ADOM, Adam, is from H119, rosy, red, or ruddy. You go to H119, it tells you to show blood in the face, to be rosy or flush, to be dyed or made red, ruddy. So it's telling you right there. That's not reddish brown. Rosy is not reddish brown. The word don't mean reddish brown. It
So you
means
you
red in the
you
Hebrew.
okay. You starting to be redundant, but you keep taking away
No,
from the
no, I
point.
put it in the
So
back chat so you can
I
fact check right behind me and see that what I gave you is correct. It is referring to them as being
I
red.
didn't say that you're not I didn't say that you're not correct. I said you're being redundant. Do you know what that
Well, the
means?
word is admoni,
Do
A
you know
D
what
M O
that
N
means?
I. It don't mean reddish
Do
brown. It don't mean
you're
anything
still being
outside of
redundant. Do you know
red.
what that means?
Red rosy. So that's how it describes those people as red rosy.
You're still being
So
redundant. Do you know what that means?
whatever, dude, whatever. I'm making the point that what you said is not entirely accurate at all. You're trying to assign different colors when the text leads you to H119, be rosy or flush, not to be reddish brown.
Right. So are you done being redundant?
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, you're saying that everywhere the strong is showing you where the root word comes from. The root word. Do you know what a root word is? Do you
It
know that?
has three words that had three different meanings depending on context. That's what it means. And the context is my beloved is white and ruddy. So what would be the context to use there out of those three words?
Okay,
Red
okay.
like a cow or
Hold on,
rosy or
hold
what?
on,
What's the
because we gotta
context?
have
No,
we
no, no.
gotta
What's
have
the
clarity
context?
really
You don't
quick.
know how to use these
We,
tools, man?
hold on, brother.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are not educated, man.
Why
I
you
gotta
keep
go.
cutting me off, brother?
Hey, I got to go, dude. I gotta go. I got things I gotta
Why
take
you
care
keep
of, man.
cutting me
Y'all
off,
wasted
brother?
enough of my time. You
Exactly,
wasted enough of my time, man.
exactly.
You obviously don't know, man. You got three words in the context that can be applied to that context. If the guy is white and ruddy, where's ruddy lead you? H119. Where does Adam, Genesis 2:19 lead you? H120 leads you to H119. So there you go, man. But anyway, I'll join the call later or something when I get time. Man. I got to get out here and do some work. Okay.
Yeah,
Bye.
I'll still finish putting the information out the proper way, because somebody just tried to lie about what a root word is, when a root word is the root of a word. It doesn't have a prefix or a suffix. It's its own word in a word. So when you look up Strong 119, it won't have as many letters as Strong 122. Just like when you hear the word conformality, the root word is form. It's its own word inside of a word. So when you see Strong's 122 and the root word is Strong 119, that is just letting you know that there is a whole word inside of this word that had its own definition. That's what a root word is. So when you go into why the lexicon broke down root words, was to show relation. So yes, the word red and ruddy had a relation because it was being used to humans. Just like to this day, we use the same word red to describe humans. We don't call uh like certain people in the South would say a red bone. They like to use that word a lot for light skinned people. When they talking about a red bone and talking about a light skinned melanated person, they're not talking about the same thing when they say redneck. So yes, it's literally the same word in English that has two different meanings in reference to people how it's used. So uh that English translation was a breakdown according to its origin, which was Hebrew. So just like we do it, use that word in English, that word was used in Hebrew. But they were even better than us in Hebrew because they would add letters to it to let you know that it meant something different. In English, we don't even add letters to it. We just use the same word and make it mean something different. Possibly possibly adding a word with it, but never just adding letters to it. So in Hebrew, when you get a strong that has multiple characters added to it, it'll show you that it has a root source. But it doesn't mean that that word means what the root source means. That just means that it's a whole word that's inside of this word already. Or it would just use the same word. That's why the lexicon broke down so many strong that seem like the same word. When you look up the word Elohim, anybody that knows Hebrew, it has like 3 or 4 different strong for the same word. But the Hebrew characters are slightly different in variation. So when you look up, like I was saying, strong H122, it lets you know that man that it's referencing is always going to be the color of a heifer or a horse or lentil beans. I'm saying beans. Some people say lineals aren't considered beans. They're lineals, whatever. You know what color they are. So all that Israel was pale. You can miss me with that. Anybody coming with that, I'ma automatically think that you trying to put down some deception, and it ain't no way around it. And I don't care what color you are that you putting it down. The spirit that you coming in, you gonna automatically let me know that you ain't trying to put down no truth. You already got what you putting down set in your head. If not, you will be bringing up as many artifacts as you can to support what you're saying. The easiest thing that I like to do is go show pictures from the late 1800s. Some people say early 1900s of what's considered to be the Ashanti tribe, which is direct connection to the Levitical priesthood. And they knew this because when they was coming in encounter with these people, they were having ephods on them, even if it was just a square wrapped around a necklace. Their photographs, early photographs of these pictures with ephods, as well as depictions of these people with darker complexions with ephods on, which is directly tying them to the Levitical priesthood, aside from written documents of the people that was coming in encounter with them. So we going off of, like I said, trying to have as many resources as we can to support a position when we going with the earliest photographs and the earliest depictions versus, yeah, now when you Google some shit, it might give you a pale looking, person from the tribe of Israel. And that's why that's all it's gonna be. It's only gonna be some new modern day cartoon style drawing. If it's not, it's gonna clearly be something that somebody could have put a rag to and sponged the color out of something. Any depiction you look up of ancient Israelites, there's no way that the Vatican conserved all the pictures they conserve and they're dark and all the new modern ones are white. It ain't gonna add up like that. So like I say, if you going against all that information and then you gonna bring out the deception of how you trying to use the Hebrew Strongs and go off of that one word to try and make a whole nation of people pale, or I don't even understand how he was saying a red person was a white person or anything other than brown, because red didn't started getting reference to scarlet until modern day times. That's why the word is translated into red in English. That word doesn't mean red in Hebrew. It's ruddy. That's where you get red from, ruddy. But you know, I say that's a whole different topic for a different day. You got a person trying to push a doctrine off one word versus all the sources that prove that ancient Israel was melanated people. And it's always gonna get exposed every single time and never fail. Because the deceiver don't have nothing but his words. The serpent didn't have nothing but him able to tell Adam, hey, nah, that ain't the case. Try it. That's all he had. God gave Adam the breath of life. He gave him a woman. He placed him in the richest soil. God did all that for him. All the serpent had was his words. So I go with the spirit. I go with the understanding that the spirit of God gave me, and not just a man's words. And with that, I digress, man. Kala Yahweh by Hashem Hamashiach. Brother Neo, what you got, man?
I'm trying to see what y'all on.
Man, a brother was on here trying to make Israel white, man. I let him cut himself. I ain't had to do too much. He wouldn't try to make a red heifer mean bloody, knowing damn well it's brown.
Yeah, they always try to do that.
That's what I told them. That's their go-to scripture. That's their go-to scripture. Yeah, I don't ever be trying to paint no seed. I be seeing where shit be going before it go there. Especially the more it happen.
Right.
It's like, oh, you coming. I see if you trying to I see if you trying to save everybody. That's one thing. But once you come in the spirit in 2025, where you trying to make Israelites white, I already know where you coming from, dog. You can get. I ain't got no bill for you, cause you set in your mind already. If you think that, you're set. It ain't no building with you.
That's why you got to take his head off.
Man,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
man, when he seen us going live, he knew he was finna get exposed. He he went and started looking in the blue letter after I exposed him, cause I'm like, man, when he said it in my mind, I'm like, damn, I ain't know that the bloody. I ain't never seen bloody being described as uh Israel. It's always the one that's compared to something brown every single time, or a garment every single time. So when he said that, I'm like, damn, I didn't know that. So he tried to make it seem like, because I said I didn't know that, like I was wrong about it, and he kept dragging it because he was finding out that I was actually right. So I go look, I'm like, nah, this strong 122. Look at my screen. It clearly says a man, and it gives you in parentheses the colors of this man, of a horse, of a heifer, of a garment, or lineals. All those are brown. Where you getting a white man from out of that? And I don't even, like I say all the time, this is not for me to say there aren't Israelites that are that color today. My thing is, when you come in the spirit of trying to deceive, I know that you're not even one of the ones that'll possibly be white. Because at least they gonna accept the facts of where they come from. And say, hold on, shit. Nah, we know that they're out there right now saying, hey, I know the children of Israel all started out white. I mean, all started out black. You know what I'm saying? I know that the people out there today saying that they're the true children and the true Jews, that they are. You know what I'm saying? And we got to start paying more attention to that. And we have to be honest about that. They're out there saying that. There's plenty of them. So what I'm saying is, when you come in the spirit of opposing that, it's like, hold on, what? Why you opposing that when all the facts saying everything else? It can't be nothing other than deception.
Off with his head.
Then he tried to use Adam. Same strong, 120. If I'm not mistaken, 120 is the garment. Let me go double check. Like, I don't know. Okay, I can look this up on the fly, man. As a matter of fact, Strong 120 is mankind. So he tried to go to Strong 120, meaning mankind, to say when you go to Strong 119, it says to show blood in the face.
Man, he kept on acting like just because David was ready, that all the Israelites was ready. How does that work?
But that strong means brown. So even that's why I was making the claim that what he's using is cutting him.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying that every Israelite was the same color brown, but him trying to use that to make them white was cutting him. Because he
I
was
was
trying to
saying,
come from the perspective of what we call in modern day times a redneck. And that's
yeah,
what it means by to show blood through the skin.
yeah, and I'm saying I will give him date. Like, if you want to say David was like an albino color, cool. But you're not gonna make the whole all of the tribes that color. No, you can't. There's allowed to be one light skin, or not just one, but some light skinned people, like, or lighter olive people. That's a given. Like, we're all different shades. There ain't no one shade. So with that understanding, there ain't no one of nothing. Only one is with Adam. When you go back to Adam, he was a reddish brown color, like dirt, right? Clay. So I'm saying that at that point, it is what it is. Everybody after that has to be that. And any variation of that is a mutation.
That's why I don't reach back to try and make Adam Brown whether I feel like he was or not because of the facts that are in the scriptures. But what I say is till this day, brown don't come from no other kind of white other than albino. You see what I'm saying? And that's the palest that you gonna get that can make brown.
Yeah. And the people of that albinoism, because there's albinos in all different type of nationalities. But if you're an albino from a certain nationality, no matter if you're albino or not, you're still going to be, your nationality is not going to change. Who you are, where you come from, that's not going to change. You just got, it's a skin thing at this point.
Yeah, but it only comes that skin. I don't even want to say disorder, but that condition only comes from melanated nationalities. It
No,
ain't no.
there's European albinos. There's every race got an albino.
Hold on, you gotta see. Unless you talking about just like the fact that they blind,
Nah,
blonde hair
Yeah,
with
no,
eyes.
I hate to agree with this nigga, but he actually right. Yeah. Albinism comes in every race. Chinese albinos, they got albinos in every race, color, and creed. They do. They got albino Switzerland people, and you don't think you can get no whiter than that. I get it, but you can't.
No, I was just talking about what, according to what albinism is. I'm about to look it up again. It's been a minute. Let me see.
It's not what you think it is. It's not what you've been brainwashed to think it is.
all you gotta do is you can look
No,
up.
okay, that's what I'm saying. It says it's a lifelong genetic condition that prevents the body from producing or distributing melanin.
But every race got melanin, you know. We're just talking about the lack thereof, the melanin. But everybody got melanin. Your skin would burn off of your bone if you didn't have some form of melanin in there. Just don't. The European races, the Caucasian races, has got less melanin.
Yeah, I understand that.
So if you look up albino, like in every race, just look up albino and put the races that you want to see an albino look like in it, or the nationality. The fact still remains that your albinoism don't change your nationality.
Yeah, I understand that.
Red, albino, brown, man, your skin color is not changing. Yeah. Right, right. What he didn't want to do was produce one of them weird whitewash photos that would have made him look crazy because he's been crushed on them joints. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, nah, yeah, I mean, I was subscribed to because I hit him with them Russian joints, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't get around that. Right. Now what you gotta say about these joints to put out? So the
It
people in
says
Russia
that white people
didn't know what.
carry. It says white people. I was just reading something about that albinism with white people because I was real curious about this. This says all white people carry a relative minor genetic mutation as albinism, but is completely different in their remote ancestors from Africa. So it's saying that whatever mutation they find in white people is similar to albinos, but it's not albinism. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I've
I,
been
I
telling
get what
people
you're
that.
saying, but that's what I was under the impression of, which it technically, still makes sense if you're saying a white person can be albino. But I was already under the impression that that was kind of what they were already, but it's
No,
not
that's
the
not
same.
true.
It's not the same mutation.
And that's the part of the doctrine that I preach against. My whole mission is to stop that misunderstanding because people who don't understand the science all the way or might have some sort of bias, and I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about the people who came up with these ideologies and pushed that. Because you're not the only one that thought that. It's no accident you thought that. That's what
What talking about that
people.
white people come from albinos?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, no. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that. No.
No, but there's Hebrews who do think this. This is the Hebrew doctrine. But you just said you was under the impression that they were albino.
Nah, I was saying that I was under the impression that what makes what makes white people white is the same thing that makes albino people albino.
So
Not
you
that.
were under the impression that they were albino. You're saying the same thing. You're trying to make it different, but it's really the same thing.
Nah, I guess to be more direct, I would say that I feel like there was another species to mix with a human is human DNA, if one would say, is where you get white people from. I don't think that they come from albinos. So I'll just be all the way direct with you. Now you get what I'm saying?
Not all the way, but
Exactly. Exactly. I just mean the deficiency in the makeup, not them coming from albinos, just that deficiency in their makeup, which keeps them from being able to be brown. Keep telling you, I ain't weird as you think, nigga. I ain't gonna call nobody weird. Everybody got their own doctrines, but I definitely don't think that white people just came from albino people just fucking over and over and over and over, and then now you got white people. Nah, I don't believe in it.
that's what's being taught around these chats. So that's why I had to speak on it. Just making sure. But you don't.
Yeah.
There's many who do.
I mean, how does that happen? If for for just playing devil's advocate, how would that happen? If I was trying to get on somebody's side, like, do anybody even have a theory of how it's like, okay, you done got pale as you can get. It ain't nothing brown never popping out of you again. Like, we don't get any other type of example of that.
Yeah, I don't get any examples of evolution as a whole, you know. Like I get certain minor micro examples of micro evolution, but I ain't seen none of macro evolution. That's the one that everybody like to run from. They love trying to prove micro evolution.
What you mean, like just the? Yeah, that's the side I'm on. Yeah, that's the side I'm on. That we had to have the ability to be albino from the jump. That's my understanding. That's nothing new. So when people talk about, one of the only descriptions of Noah that we get in the book of Enoch, I'm not totally against that. I'm actually, just for the record, I'm not totally against anything in the other books unless they contradict. That's the side that I get down on. So I'm just more so I'm for what I read the Bible for. I don't need to read another book for that. I read the Bible for the instruction because of because of me coming from no instruction. I don't believe that the Mosaic law is going to get you salvation. I believe that can lead you to righteousness. And that's just pretty much where I stand on the understanding of the different colors and descriptions and everything like that. I believe that it's all there. I definitely believe that it could have been some pale people in our lineage. But when you try and make our nation as a whole pale as Israel, you got me fucked up. Because I know where you're going with it. That's how all the pictures look the way they do now. Your people's manipulation, trying to push that shit. Look up a Levite right now. I bet you they're just gonna give you a white motherfucker with a beard. They gonna make sure they give him the beard. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Then you got what they call some some depictions of give them what they call that Middle Eastern color. Man, miss me with that shit, bro. Them folk were black as hell in them early times, man, out there in the sun, barely having an abundance of shelter. That shit still is new over there. An abundance of shelter is new in a lot of areas. When I say new, I mean the past 100 years. I mean, I think I said past 100 years, not past 100 years. In the past, it's only hundreds of years old. That's what I mean. A lot of like mass complexes in third world countries is not more than 500 and 600 years old. So it's like these people still got plenty of room to build on their land on the daily basis. So what makes you think that them folks was out there in the sun, still black as hell in them areas today, but they wasn't back then? Come on, man, get out of here. I was finna pull out them documents, Apollo, about where when the word white started being referred to people in general.
Mhm. What years we got them?
We was called white first, and I see, like you said, Karima, I've been knowing that, but Apollo gave me some file documents just to go on nip it in the bud. You know they love documents.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give it to
Cause they acting like that they're really playing on our intelligence like we can't, like they said, have it in the book. Well, guess what? We reading books. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, y'all heard the books. Now y'all making the books available and rereading them motherfuckers.
them. That's what I sensed when he was mad. That I knew that that wasn't Strong's uh 119 right there. It
Man,
was
you
like
know how many
that
people
shit
that,
stirred him up bad to where he damn near didn't want to shut up no more. Like,
yo,
oh shit,
how
I can't
bro,
let this
a
come out.
lot of people done showed him that. Like he know when you went there, he knew that that was the end. You know what I'm saying? He knew that you was on his ass. Like niggas done been yo, that's what I'm saying. Like you gotta get in the those other chats so you can see niggas getting their head took off. You know what I'm saying? Like yo, like he said everything that you know what I mean, all the bullshit that he be saying. He brought up the 400 years and he got a whole script, man. He just was hitting niggas with his little script, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Man, niggas done showed him the calves. Man, and that man, they done showed him every which way you could think of that ready is brown. And he stick. I'm like, yo, this I call them as zombies, man. You kill them, and then they just they come back. You know what I'm saying? With some with the same bullshit, man. You gotta kill them again. I was when you went. Look, that's how you run them up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? When you jump on somebody and they ain't got nowhere to go, don't get on up out of here. Know what I mean? They instantly find something to do. When he was winning, when he thought he was winning the conversation, he had all the time in the world. So as he started getting jumped on, yeah, I gotta go mow the lawn in the winter. I gotta go mow the lawn in the snow. Okay.
But then try to pull the picture of the baby when we talking about what color Israel was and say, I'm not using that as a reference though. What? Well, what are we talking about then? Because if I'm saying that they brown, I'm gonna use myself and I'm gonna say, oh, this is brown right here. This is how they could have been brown right here. Man, I already, I'm telling you once again, I'm not trying to plant no seed. I knew what spirit he was coming in when he said, when I was trying to correct him on something about the law, I had no clue what color he is. I don't go look at nobody's profile. I don't be having nothing to do with that because I see enough from that little circle picture right there. So when I see you got a picture of a dog and you saying little weird shit about the law, and then say, "Oh, but I'm not saying that I have Christ." But you steady talking about the law of Christ. It's like, what are you talking about? You just talking to talk right now, and then, well, you ain't rebutting anything that I'm saying. You just said you don't have Christ. What are we building on right now? You trying to make Christ's law separate from the Mosaic law. When Christ kept the Mosaic law and James called the royal law, he said adultery was in the royal law. And then in the same sense of him talking about the royal law said, if you don't keep the whole law, if you transgress one, you transgress all. That's all in the same couple verses where James is talking about that. So how you reference that and then, oh, well, I ain't saying that I have Christ. That ain't even what I'm saying. So what? My bad. I ain't talking to you then. I'm talking about somebody that's that's that Greg shit. That's why I told you it don't matter. It don't matter about what color. When I see your spirit doing weird shit like that, it's like, oh no, no, you gonna be fucking up our bill. We gonna fuck around and go live with you thinking that it's one way, and you gonna fuck it all the way up. Like the way you just set it up just then, that was perfect. But had that started from this morning, I would have cussed his out. He would have been cussed out bad for real. Cause I'm telling you, you don't realize how disrespected I felt when I said something about him calling me a boy and then trying to double down and say Israel was white anyway. That's basically what I'm getting at. Like you calling me a boy and then telling me, "Oh, you in here trying to study and talk about some shit, and you don't even know what you talking about." They was white. It's like, man, wait, what? Nah. Man, I've been studying this for years. That's I'm not gonna. And you keep saying little racist shit and and trying to act like you're not. That's what I don't like about them. Just be honest and say I don't fuck with you, but hey, it's day to day. I gotta buy from you, or I gotta sell to you. Hey, let's shake hands, dap it up, and keep it moving. Even if we are building, even if you gonna add to the build, you can't come attacking with no deception. You gotta come attacking with some straight facts. Come with some salvation based shit, and I'll deal with you for a minute. That's how I did Dwayne. When he came talking about salvation, I respected it. Cause on top of that, he wasn't even trying to make himself He wasn't even necessarily trying to make Israel black. He was reaching back to Shem and shit. Okay, cool, Dwayne, I'll deal with you. But when you start trying to lie, and then you start trying to say the Messiah had an unclean spirit on him at one point, trying to say he came from unclean people and just calling Matthew a devil because he was a tax collector. Like when you just start lying on the scriptures, now you irritating my spirit the wrong way. I already know what you coming with. That's my thing. I do not care about what color you are. I do not care about what doctrine you come with. When you come lying, you are deceiving. That is what a devil is. It simply means deceiver. In the scriptures, 90% of the time, not even every time, it's one time, I'm going to give y'all a cheat code. It's one time where David is called an adversary. David is called Satan one time in the scripture. I'm going to give y'all that cheat code. But majority of the time, it's literally talking about Edomites. When you see that word Satan and you see that word devil, it's literally talking about Edomites. When you just go do the research.
BS.
Hmm. I know exactly what you're talking about. I ain't even know the name of the movie till you describing the scene. I I don't know. I just know the scene that you talking about because they on a bus at some point in that same movie. Yep. You spot on. Hmm. I appreciate it, sister. Like I say, it be having, I be having a hard time when I know how many people you done already accessed with this bullshit. Whether they believe it or not, it's like, damn, why I'm trying to get my people on track. You coming with this kind of shit? Damn. I be forgetting this what I gotta go against. That's why that nigga Joshua didn't want to go to Nineveh. Uh that's why what's his name? Uh, it's another brother that didn't want to go to Nineveh. Niggas was scared of that spirit, bro. Ezekiel was about one of the only ones that wasn't scared to go to these other nations and get his people. Everybody else was like, "Damn, they over there with them folks. I don't want to deal with them." For real, that spirit is just is trolly. It's so pesky, and it ain't like I say, it ain't got no color on it. It just so happened that I believe in the spirits going through nations in the scripture. So it is a nation of people that got that spirit, but it's multiple nations that are different colors. So you can't just put it on a color of a person. But when you coming with the spirit first, like the scripture tell you to do, try the spirit by the spirit. The children, the sons of God are the ones that are led by the spirit. That's why I posted that scripture after Shem said, "Bro, how did you know this nigga was an Edomite?" That's how. I've never talked to that nigga before this morning. Ever. I've seen I've seen that name messaging in the chat and never responded. Never been on a call with him or nothing. But when I seen the picture of that dog and he said something, let me go see exactly what he said. Because it was some white ass shit. Forgive me for my language. I know y'all say white people say black shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? They just don't say it to our face. I got plenty of white friends. They make they make black jokes. I make white jokes. You just can't call me no nigga. I ain't gonna call you no crack. That's what it was. When after he said he never said he had Christ, I said I'm not really, I don't really care to deal with you. Then I'm here for the lost sheep. He said you seem to be the lost sheep. We don't talk like that. I'm sorry. He said you seem to be the lost sheep. No. I'm clearly studying this shit every day, trying to be one of the shepherds. How you gonna call me a lost sheep? At least call me one of the niggas that is woe to the pastor, because I'm trying to bring them in the wrong way. Don't just straight up call me a sheep. Now you playing. Then right after that, he say, so then prove me wrong and you can't answer my question. Now you're trying to run away after being mouthy. Said, then you just said I'm running away being mouthy. I said, you talking like an Edomite. I'm definitely done. Like, nah. Yeah, I already see where you coming from, brother. You wanted an altercation. I wasn't being mouthy at all. I literally said something about the royal law being the Mosaic law. And if you saying you ain't trying to get to Christ anyway, why am I talking about that with you? That's like the Greg shit. I'd rather talk about some solar system shit that's in the Quran, creation, evolution. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't standing on the side of the Bible, there's plenty of other topics that I'll talk about with you. But we're not finna go back and forth about the scriptures in the Most High. That's gonna irritate me. And that type of, it's plenty of advice in the scriptures that tell me not to go back and forth with a fool about the scriptures. It ain't gonna turn out well. What they call it, beating a dead horse.
Hey, these horses are zombies.
Man, that's it. And they be at their own discretion. That's why they do what they do. If he didn't have the will to leave when he wanted to leave, he wouldn't have been popping that stuff like that. As soon as it got hot, he left the kitchen.
We definitely got out the kitchen.
Because like I said, I really was taking them slow. If I would have went and started getting documents, it's gonna get ugly. Because I'm one of them brothers who, that's all I need to start saying something is 2 or 3 documents. So I ain't gonna say nothing that I don't got no documents or no scripture to back it up. That's why I said I got a couple documents already about the status of black people and melanated people already having the status of white and black. You see what I'm saying? That was our thing already.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know shit but how to beat rocks together and make a little fire.
Right.
We taught them everything. That's why when them niggas started getting on the ships with the Canaanites, they were like, hold on. These niggas might be a little bit smarter than the Jews. These niggas know how to travel. They ain't really traveling yet. That's how they ended up cleaving to their ass. That's how you got Africans and Europeans that got caught up with the slave trade. It ain't the Jews. People always like to say, oh, the Jews is the one. That Jews start selling Jews and buying Jews. No, they trying to manipulate us and make us think that shit because everybody was dark skinned. Then they love to say, well, That's the first slavery was the Israelites selling the Israelites. Joseph's brother sold him. Man, nah, you can miss me with that shit, man. I say, bro, you got that Mississippian culture. That shit get deep, man. I advise all y'all to look into that when y'all get a chance. It's way more videos than documents. That's the only thing about it. Cause like I was telling the brother earlier, that's a lot of word of mouth from ancestral passed down in the South and in the southeastern region of the North America. That Mississippian culture is the beginning of a lot of civilization because it all started with, like barter system before a bunch of buildings was being built and shit like that. They want us to think it wasn't nothing but Africans over here getting their back beat in the whole time. It was dark people that looked just like the people that was enslaved, that was free as hell and rich as hell. I hate
All right,
when
do
they try.
you think there was some like mixture? What was the mixture like between the Africans and people that was over here?
You said what was the mixture between the Africans and the people over here?
Yeah.
Well,
You understand the question?
not really. You saying
I'm
like
asking, do you think
the
the
ratio of
ratio of
Africans and
African
Jews?
slaves brought over here and the ratio of people over here already of color that was enslaved?
I don't too much believe in African slaves that wasn't sojourning with the Jews.
You don't think any slaves came over here from Africa?
No, I'm saying I do, but I believe that even though they were coming from Africa, they weren't the children of Ham. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I think a good, I would say the ratio maybe maximized at 80-20, 80% being.
I'm lost. I'm lost. So nobody from Ham came over here enslaved. Nobody.
I do believe that. I do.
I don't. I don't.
You saying you don't believe that nobody from Ham came over here through slave?
Yeah, I don't believe that.
So do you know about like the sharing of the house? When I say sharing of the house, like it was Canaanites that was sojourning with the Jews to the point to where they was basically considered whatever they were. So that came
Well, that's
back.
still Ham coming over here in the slave trade. That's what I was asking. What is it like? When I say African, do you believe any Africans came over here? And are you saying the Native Americans was the same people from Israel? Y'all normally go to the Lost Tribe of Dan and somebody else, but Issachar or something. I don't know who y'all go to. But do you think the Native Americans over here was from the tribe of Israel when you talk about these black people in America? And do you think any Hamites came over here? That's the two questions I'm asking.
Okay, I got you. I believe all 12 tribes were over here by the time the transatlantic slaves started happening. I believe that Canaanites were already over here by the time the transatlantic slave trade started happening. The ratio, I would say, is that it was probably about 80% Ham and then about 20% Ham. And I would say maybe the same thing or less that were actually slaves that came over here. And I believe majority of Ham was trying to stay where they were with the understanding that Canaan was their land and, Shem was trying to take it or Israel was trying to take
Uh, I don't believe that. I believe that it was some Africans and Israelites mixed in with that trade.
it. Yeah, I believe it. I just believe the ratio stems with a little more Shem than Ham. I believe some Hamites was in there as well. I just don't believe, like I say, according to prophecy, that they were in abundance being uh integrated. I believe they was always gonna border for the most part. So I believe it's some Hamitic tribes, they came in the midst. That's why a lot of them, for the most part, you see in southern areas. It's a lot of Africans from South Carolina, Florida, even stretching over to like the Kentucky area. You get a lot of Africans. Now I ain't talking about Jamaicans. I ain't talking about Caribbean Islanders. I'm talking about Africans. So I would definitely say that, you know what I'm saying? If you could see them on the border, then they definitely were here integrated as well. But as far as on the majority side, uh, Canaan would be on the borders of our dwellings. So
Okay.
that's just like the West Coast. Like shit, that ain't really where we was. You see what I'm saying? We had to start migrating there and be brought there to
And
be
yeah,
picked
I
up from there.
understand that.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I, that's one of my, beliefs and teachings. But I do believe it was some admixture.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like I say, I don't like when people try and make any absolute number for any nation when it came to migration. That's why I stand where I stand with Moab. I don't like when people try and make it seem like just Chinese and Japanese or Moab and Ammon. You see what I'm saying? Because
Right.
it's so many different variations of them that don't get talked about. It ain't 1,000 images of them online. You see what I'm saying? It's dark as hell. So when you get to talk about Asia Minor and its relations in Africa, yeah, they started getting more yellow after America was lightened up. Or I wouldn't say after America was lightened up. I would say just to not try and put a window time frame on it. It could have easily been that the same people that lightened America up lightened Asia up. I'll just put it like that. Wherever that admixture that was pale as hell came from, in the time frame that these civilizations got lightened up, it could have definitely been the same group of people. And I say that that group of people could have easily been some type of Canaanite, Edomite mix, and not saying that either one of those specific tribes are white. I'm not saying that Canaanites are white. I'm not saying that Edomites are white. But that mixture,
I had a brother who was saying that.
but you can
I argued
definitely
with him.
see, you can definitely see that in the areas where those two started to mix is the same areas where you start to see white people pop up in history. That's the only thing that I would say. So you know, you could. I'm one of them people that you could say they literally was mixing DNAs with something else in test tubes and in labs, and that's how they ended up coming up with this. And I would say, okay, if that's what makes sense to you, totally. All I know is that them motherfuckers popped up right there. Right there. Everybody in history that's done the study, where they popping up, it's in the same little couple region around them
Yeah,
creeks
and
and shit. You see what I'm saying?
he interpreted that as the Canaanites was from the Caucasus Mountains area.
Yeah,
That's what
hell
this
no.
brother
Yeah,
said.
that's a reach. That's a super
And
reach.
Kareem would know this guy. His name is Joshua Ben Lucifer or some shit he got. I don't know.
Yeah, see if he think he's the true light bearer, then that should let you know how wrong he is right there. Okay, anybody that's calling themselves Lucifer, that means you on top. You bringing the light. I need to be looking to you for all my light. So if you
Yeah, he
calling
used to
yourself,
pretend to be Hebrew,
yeah, nah, I ain't going for that. And
and
I
now he
mean,
on some other stuff.
with the understanding of Lucifer, I'm one of them people who, when you understand that term, you understand that who we call Christ per se should have been the only Lucifer. It shouldn't have been no person or no entity that we was gonna be able to see as an example of bringing the light other than the Messiah. It's nobody else who was supposed to be the light bearer other than the Messiah. That's why I feel like that name got X'd out. You see what I'm saying? Because somebody else was saying, "Hey, I'm the one bringing the light before the Messiah." I
But
don't
the
I don't
Bible
look at
says
that
that.
name as a bad name. It's just the nigga who was saying that before the Messiah came was a bad person. It just means light bearer. So if you calling yourself Lucifer, you think you bringing the light, and I know I don't need to be looking to you. You see what I'm saying?
But the Bible calls him that.
The Bible calls who that?
The son of the morning, morning star,
Oh
light
yeah,
bearer.
okay, yeah. See, you know where I'm at with it. I don't like to do too much beating up because I be feeling like brothers are already. If you know, like they say. So,
The word Lucifer itself means light bearer, so
hmm
he was technically named that.
he the true light bearer. So anybody that's saying they the light bearer before I know I'm supposed to be looking for him, you a goddamn liar. I don't care what color you are. You a goddamn liar.
Wasn't that the Most High calling him that, though?
Nah, I'm talking about your boy. You said you was just debating his
Oh,
name, Lucifer. Hell nah.
yeah.
The Most High say you something, you whatever he said
It
you
was
is.
either Lucifer or Satan, one of them. I don't know.
If the Most High call you something, that's what it is. I ain't got no room to take away from that. That's one of the reasons I call the people that he called the devil. That's who he said he hate. He say he done always hated Esau. It was something about Esau to where out of all people, that's who the Most High said he hated. It's something about that nigga spirit, bro. I don't beat up. I'm gonna keep repeating it. I do not beat up on no color. That ain't got nothing to do with it. But if the Most High hates your spirit, I know it's gonna irritate me.
Mm-mm. It does say, Jacob, I love Esau, I hate it. It says that. But it also tells you not to hate an Edomite.
Yeah, notice what I said now. I ain't.
So
I don't.
what
I don't
God,
hate.
so
I
what
don't
it
hate
does to God
nobody.
and what it does to you is two different things. He never told
Yeah,
us to hate him.
I don't hate nobody. Notice what I said. If the Most High said he hates you, I know your spirit gonna irritate me. I try my best not to hate nobody. Like I say, I could know that you have that spirit on you, and long as we talking about something else, it'll be good. I have white associates. I don't have white friends. I'm not gonna put my life on the line for nobody that I don't trust none of them to put their life on the line for me. But it's people that look like me that I know for a fact will put their life on the line for me, and that's why I'll do the same for them. I have yet to meet a genuine person that's not one of my people that I truly fit, no matter how nice they are. I can never 100% feel like you have my best interest in mind. Like you got my best interest in your mind. You see what I'm saying? I know black people like that have the quote unquote money that's supposed to make you wicked, but it still don't turn them because their spirit is that fat, that hell fast. Some people's spirits you can't break, especially when they come from where we come from. That's why we the people that he chose to go through the fire. Once we done made it through the fire, we make it through and receive the spirit of Christ. That's why all of us feel like fucking Avengers. You can't touch us. Now, our difference in a few doctrines about virgin birth and shit like that, that's minor shit. When it comes to the end all be all, we know who he is and you can't fuck with us. But when people come and try and do any manipulation towards that and try and fit themselves somewhere other than what the scripture's saying, you got me fucked up. And we can debate about it. It's just gonna take a minute, depending on the spirit you come in. But we can definitely debate about it. With all the smoke, man. My biggest thing I'm trying to nip in the bud now is the difference in salvation and sojourning. Because everybody keeps saying other nations are going to receive salvation, but other nations are going to be
They are.
cleaving and sojourning. Salvation
They're
is
going to
solely
receive
for Israel.
salvation.
Huh?
They're going to receive salvation.
Uh,
They are.
according to what the word means in the fact that they're going to be saved from something, I'll agree with you. But not the salvation that is for Israel. It's a specific salvation that's only for Israel. And that's them to be saved out of the hand of the enemy of their enemies.
And you or I will never see that. We'll be dead, gone in the glory, and it ain't
Whether
going to
whether we
happen in
gonna
our
see it or
lifetime.
not, whether we gonna see it or not, the truth gotta be out there for niggas to stop lying on the scriptures like it ain't a chosen people that's going to receive something that they've been promised for thousands of years.
Why?
What you mean?
Why do you think it's your job to stop people from lying on the scriptures?
Because the scriptures say that it's a people that was chosen to do their job of correcting of the gospel.
So if somebody think that it's them, is that going to change the plan of the Most High and what the scriptures are talking about? Is that going to change because these people think it's them?
Nah, who you are That's a whole different argument. It's
If
just
you
about the
understand
fact
what
that
I asked.
it's just about the fact that the scriptures say that it's a specific people. So once you try and make the scriptures say that it's that what's
Is it
for a
gonna
specific
change it
people,
by them saying it's them?
huh?
Is it gonna change who it is by them saying it's them? Is it gonna change?
No,
So why the hell does it matter what the hell they say?
because the people who it's for might not know this.
That's on everybody.
Yeah, see, what I'm saying is basically I might have a brother out there that think because Alva is saying this it that he's saying that he don't have no hope. So he out here throwing his life away. So even if that shit ain't for us, off the strength of me and understanding the instruction of the Bible, I'm going to preach this to him to get him from out of throwing his life away. You get where I'm coming from?
I mean, I get it, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, me and you had it. This be our conversation a lot. It's just what you want to spend your time doing versus what I'll spend my time doing. It's one of them things where it's 12 tribes. I don't believe all 12 was supposed to do the same exact job. You see what I'm saying?
Right?
That's one of the, where I feel like shit. I might be one of the niggas that do that. Shit, you might be one of the ones that gotta take care of the sacrifices on the altar. You know what I'm saying? You might be a Levite. I can't be the one to call that.
So
But
do you believe in the 12 tribes chart?
I believe the 12 tribes chart. Well, what can I say? I feel like it's damn near like the book of Joshua, or the book of Jubilees or something. It has its truth, but since it's went through men's hands, you can't really just, you know what I'm saying, give it too much source unless you could take it back further and further and further. That's why certain people only deal with the Torah in early gospels because that's all you could take back to the origin. So that's kind of where I stand with the 12 tribes chart. It's like, okay, you could get me close to where I could do my own studies and find some truth to what you're saying, but I don't feel like just because the 12 tribes chart says the people from this land are this tribe that's what it is. I don't give no man that credit, no matter how hard you study. You see what I'm saying? No matter how many witnesses of man you have. The only thing that we can do is agree that that's a lot of that's a lot of evidence. You see what I'm saying? But I can't just emphatically say that that's what it is. Like I say, there's a lot of evidence to that chart. I definitely see some truth to it, but I don't stand on no man's doctrine of what the word of God says, because it says we were scattered abroad. So there are Israelites everywhere, according to my knowledge, from every tribe. Is there as many in fucking uh Antarctica as there are in Canada? No. Are there as many in Canada as there are in North America? No. You see what I'm saying? I believe that it scales to it everywhere. And I don't believe that it's a color on it. I'm real big on trying the spirit by the spirit. That's why I feel like you had certain certain advice from the priests and things like that, and then you get the Pharisees and the Sadducees that aren't from a direct tribe in more modern times than the Old Testament, because it stopped being about just because niggas from Levi they had the ability to have an authority that the priest had. You see what I'm saying? That's why I believe it was prophesied for Christ to come in the order of Melchizedek. Because once the Levites sit close to a righteous example, other tribes had the ability to do the same thing because we all have the same willpower when it comes to our thought process. So it ain't nothing that I could see another man do and I feel like, damn, I can't do that. It's just instilled in certain people that a lot of us, I'm sure it ain't none of us on this phone as men that are going to see another man do something and then just straight up be like, man, I can't do that. I don't give a damn. It might be some big niggas that like, bro, man, I could do that if I lose shit 20 pounds or something. You know what I'm saying? But you don't hear too many niggas just straight up like, nah, I can't do that. So that's why I feel like when it comes to
Nah, look, when it come to Michael Jordan and the stuff I seen him do, I'll be the first man you hear say, nah, I don't believe I could do that. That was like some amazing stuff. You can even say some of the stuff Tyson was doing, but I'm gonna say especially Jordan.
man, yeah, that's like when you get to that point, you talking about training and niggas taking enhancements and all kind of shit. I just mean some shit like if I give you a knife and a cucumber and a nigga cut that bitch a certain way and you just watched him do that, you gonna be able to do the same shit. You
Oh,
might
that's the
have to see
easy
him watch it do.
stuff.
You might have to see him do it a
You
couple more
play,
times.
nah, you playing it short. Like that's the easy stuff. I'm talking about go out in front of the free throw line with the tongue out your mouth, posterize and yeah,
Yeah, see, I don't think that's the kind of example that we supposed to be
triple
setting either.
pumping in the air, coming on. I'm just saying there's some stuff that I've seen men do that I would never even begin to lie and say I think I could do.
Yeah, but
Bruce Lee,
just as
I don't
far
think
as
I could
like
ever do that.
just as far as men getting an example from something like the Levitical priesthood and feeling like they could do the same job. That's what I was referring to though. So that's why I feel like it was prophesied that even though the Messiah would come through the tribe of Judah, that's who we would be looking for to basically be our mediator, even though he wasn't through the tribe of Levi, because that's who we were going to give our offerings to. So, I don't do the modern day. The people here are this tribe, the people here are that tribe. Hell no. You might have a nigga that look like he for sure from the tribe of Levi, but he might have the spirit of a Gadite. You see what I'm saying? His bloodline might go all the way back to Gad at the end of the day. So I don't really go off of that too much. I don't even think the camps really do for real. I think they just use that as a reference point to try and draw niggas in and just say the Israelites was black and they was never.
Nah, they be having them people quoting that.
Yeah, the niggas indoctrinated, man. They talk about Israel being, going off the doctrine of men plenty of times, thinking that they doing something righteous. That's the shit that
Them niggas be
scripture talking
introducing
about.
themselves in the same camp. I'm such and such from the tribe of Benjamin. I haven't seen it.
I can't tell you ain't. All I can tell you is no matter what tribe you from, if you ain't got the right understanding, it ain't gonna lead you to the right place. No matter where you claiming you from, if you ain't got the right understanding, it's not gonna lead you to the right place.
Yeah, the tribe's not separated like that for one. After all this time, they would have blended together and they all mixed up. So any one of us would be from 3 different tribes of black people. You know, it's not like all black people from one tribe. It didn't go like that. That's not how the slave trade happened.
Yeah, but I think, according to how fertile the south coast of America is why majority of Israel started to pretty much what do you call it, dock in those areas even before slave trade, because they was always trying to dwell in areas that hadn't been occupied, but they still always knew to be close to some water source and fertile land. So I can definitely see that, if somebody was to make a claim that majority of modern day Israel by blood is in North America, I wouldn't I wouldn't run from it. I wouldn't say nothing drastic because of how big Africa is. When you talk about how big Africa is, it could definitely be a number damn near close to the whole amount of us that are here in America, that'll put the ratio at about 55-45 or 60-40 easy. And I'm saying the majority could go either way. That's how big that continent is. They didn't go snatch every damn Israelite from out there. You a damn fool. And every nigga that was already over here didn't come through the slave trade. It was already, I say all the time, anybody from the South know every black person wasn't a slave. That's some bullshit that they just put in school. It was rich black motherfuckers. The rich black people was richer than the white people. It just wasn't no buying of slaves. It was households, household name. That's why some of them families, names of families, that shit came from us, man. That Rockefeller family, all that type of shit, man. That shit came from us. We've been holding on to the names of our ancestors for the longest with pride. They wasn't holding on to the name of their ancestors with pride. That's why they stopped calling themselves Idumeans, because they realized that that takes them straight back to Esau. We can't keep saying that shit. We got to say something else. Fuck it. Let's just say we what they are. Hell no, you got to push that shit on somebody else. Like I tell people all the time, man, that shit didn't make sense to me in school. It definitely ain't gonna make sense now. Then they be trying to make it seem like slavery was just so enforced. Man, a lot of them people didn't understand the amount of rigor that was being held against them until modern times in close times proximity of the Emancipation Proclamation. So if you talking about any slavery from the 1800s, you pretty much say that whole 100-year span, it ain't really that relevant because by that time niggas was trying to rebel and get out of that shit anyway. Niggas hadn't been trying to rebel and get out of slavery for hundreds of years. There wasn't no process that was taking forever. niggas started to realize more and more, like, hold on, this shit getting a little redundant. They was only doing this shit for a couple years, and back home, I thought they said they was gonna get my grandma X, Y, and Z after we touched down over here. They ain't gave her shit, and she died last year. See what I'm saying? That's how they put the manipulation on us. All you gotta do is do a little bit of lying here and there. Like thousands of niggas was just getting their backs beat in by 5 white men on the plantation just because they had shotguns and revolvers. We ain't talking about AKs and semi-automatics and shit. We talking about a time of shotguns and revolvers, single shooters and shit, stuff loaders and shit. And you telling me it's a few handful of white men with hundreds of black slaves on the plantation, and we didn't want to be there, but that shit was going on for hundreds of years. Man, you better tell your grandchildren that shit that you still want to be done. Don't tell me that shit. You're wasting your time. You know, so my great grandfather, they were in the time of slavery. I think my great grandfather Johnny J was born in 1918, 1914 or 19. I think he was born in 1914 and my great grandmother was born in 1918. But man, we got so much documents of how long they was having money and getting money, like old records of him having to write down his own receipts and shit like that by hand. Like it was niggas getting money in the late 1800s and early 1900s in the same time of them wanting us to believe everybody was enslaved. Niggas was already getting money by the early 1900s. A lot of people that was enslaved was already free. Everybody wasn't working for free. A lot of them was, but everybody wasn't. I wish they was here for me to get some of them voice recordings of them stories, man. Just like both of them lived to be 90 plus. My grandmother actually lived to be 101. And they both was still walking, talking, and functioning all the way up until their last day. My great grandfather, he wasn't really walking as much, but they were both talking up until their last day. Great grandmother was still cooking for herself and driving to church. Our people got our people got strong genes and real heritage. That's why I use that word heritage a lot, because that's the shit that get passed down. Like I agree to a certain extent when people say everything wasn't in the book, and that's because a lot of it was already written on our heart after it was written in the book for us to hold on to that shit. My same older uncles and grandparents and shit, when they was hearing me, on my new journey of coming into the truth of who I am and shit like that. They all come from the Baptist church and going to church every Sunday, but love the fact that I'm on the path that I'm on. That lets you know right there. You know what I'm saying? They know what it is. They just know it was certain shit back then. Like I say all the time, it wasn't necessarily a brainwashing of our people. It was more of a mouth washing and a programming. You might know this shit, but you better not say that shit. Till you could tell them behind closed doors and say, "Hey, don't tell nobody about this." Yeah.
Don't be making no transactions on here. I don't know what's going on. I took a grub break to feed my face, but I was murdering this track up in here. Man,
What you say, Neil?
I said I took a snack break, a food run break, but I was in here murdering this track. I was killing it. On the Lil Wayne track from the Drought. That Canine.
Oh yeah.
About to murder it. I let you hear what I got so far. Started from the beginning. Wait a minute.
Woke up and then I that shit that I was seeing that put a clean cut out the screen with a rusted box, try to put this thing like a shoe. Time to blow your mind, that's the end of your speaker. Block 29, that's that 10 millimeter. Spit things like I'm drinking whole bottles of ether. We select a hanging hole and put it in our speaker. Put it with the mind of those who put it in a speaker. Walking like a rock swallow, but the kiss of people kind of ugly by the face. Like me, took your bitch by the waist, took her back to my place, caught shoes. Hold out that pistol, hit him with gristle till it bristle. And the bitch don't know what the bitch might do when the nigga do shit. Lord, I'm mad, I can fly. Some people say it's wrong, but I ain't stopping. I'm just chasing my grind. Some niggas hate me, that's fine. I'm used to that. Shout out to my real niggas that drop I do it so fluently, I'm the key. What the fuck if you
Good sample. I don't know if you can hear it that good over the phone, but
Yeah, that shit right.
my brother sent me a video of the nigga making the beat. And I was like, yeah, that was a dope ass beat. I need to rip that bitch, you know. I ain't never rapped to it.
I think I seen this shit where they was chopping that sample up from that guy.
Yeah. That's the one he sent me.
Ain't it from
And then Fiend came on there.
ain't it from one of them videos?
Barry White. No, that bitch from Barry White. That nigga got that bitch from Barry White, a Barry White song. It was the one they used for Come On Ride That Train, that choo train.
Oh yeah. No, I'm talking about that voice, that Cannon.
Oh, I don't know where it's from.
Yeah, I think it's from.
I don't know where that's
the
from.
video game. I think it's on a football game.
And that's the DJ name too.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't think that was his voice. He got it from somewhere.
Yeah, I know about them niggas. That nigga was with the affiliates. Ain't that them niggas' name?
I don't know if he was with the affiliates or not. He could have been. I'm not saying he wasn't.
I think it was him and DJ Drama.
Yeah, DJ Drama was the one that hooked that song up with Wayne on his mixtape and everything. But so it said DJ Drama, but it was Cannon that made the beat. DJ Drama didn't make the beat. He just maybe mixed the beat with Wayne. You know, I don't know how it happened, but Cannon was the one who made the beat. DJ Drama hooked the shit up. I can't believe I came all the way back home and didn't get no drink. I can't finish a song with no drink. But yeah, I'm gonna make a stove right now. I'll be back.
It's all good. It's all I want, man.
Peace.
Tap in with y'all a little later myself, man. Shalom.